In the heart of a lush, untamed forest, where ancient trees whisper secrets to the wind, a tiny miracle of nature faced the fight of its life. Imagine a baby elephant, no bigger than a small car, tumbling into a yawning abyss, a deep pit that seemed to swallow hope itself. This isn't just any story. It's a tale that will grip your soul and leave you questioning the boundaries between humanity and the wild. The title says it all. Baby elephant fell into a deep pit. What the villagers did next will shock you. But before we dive into the drama, let's pause and think about why stories like this matter. In a world where wildlife and humans clash daily, moments of unexpected compassion can redefine our understanding of coexistence. Elephants, those majestic giants of the earth, symbolize strength, family, and wisdom in many cultures. Yet they often find themselves at odds with expanding human settlements. This particular baby, with its floppy ears and curious trunk, represents innocence caught in the crossfire of progress and preservation. As we embark on this journey, picture the scene: a remote village nestled on the edge of a dense jungle, where the air hums with the calls of exotic birds and the distant rumble of thunder. The villagers, hardy souls eking out a living from the land, have long shared their territory with herds of elephants that roam freely. But harmony is fragile. Crop raids by these gentle behemoths have led to resentment, fences, and sometimes tragic confrontations. Now enter our protagonist, a young calf we'll call Luna, for her wide, moon-like eyes that sparkle with youthful wonder. Luna's fall into the pit wasn't just an accident. It was a catalyst that would test the hearts of an entire community. What if I told you that the villagers' response wasn't the predictable call for help or an indifferent walk away? No, what they did next shattered stereotypes and ignited a spark of change that echoed far beyond their humble homes. This story unfolds like a thriller, with twists that keep you on the edge of your seat. We'll explore the build-up, the heartbreak, and the redemption in vivid detail. Why 7,000 words? Because every nuance, every emotion deserves to be felt deeply. You'll hear the trumpets of desperate elephants, feel the mud underfoot as rescuers toil, and witness a shocking act that proves humanity's capacity for greatness. But let's not rush. Storytelling is an art, and this one builds layer by layer. From the first cry echoing through the trees to the final triumphant step back to freedom, prepare to be moved. Elephants have remarkable memories. They remember kindness and cruelty alike. In this narrative, memory plays a key role, as the herd's matriarch senses her lost young one's peril from miles away. As we proceed, remember that this isn't fiction. It's inspired by real events where ordinary people become heroes in extraordinary ways. The pit, a relic from old mining days, lurks like a hidden trap in the undergrowth. Luna's mishap highlights the dangers of human encroachment on natural habitats. Conservationists warn that such incidents are rising, with pits, wells, and ditches claiming countless animal lives each year. But here, the focus is on hope. The villagers, a mix of farmers, elders, and wide-eyed children, gather not with weapons but with wits. Their shocking choice? You'll have to stay tuned, but hint, it involves risking their own safety in a way no one anticipated. Engage with me as we unravel this. Hit that like button if you're already hooked. Subscribe for more wildlife wonders, and comment below, what would you do if you found a trapped baby elephant? Your thoughts fuel these stories. Now let's set the stage properly, diving into the world where this drama began. The forest isn't just a backdrop. It's a living, breathing character teeming with life. Vines twist like serpents, rivers carve paths through the earth, and the sun filters through canopies in golden shafts. Amid this splendor, elephants thrive in tight-knit families, led by wise females who navigate dangers with uncanny intuition. Luna, barely a year old, is the apple of her mother's eye, playful and oblivious to the perils lurking nearby. But peril struck swiftly. One fateful afternoon, as the herd grazed, Luna wandered off, chasing a butterfly's flutter. The ground gave way beneath her tiny feet, and down she plummeted into darkness. Her cries pierced the air, a heartbreaking symphony that summoned her family. But the pit was too steep, too deep for them to reach her. Miles away, the village stirred. Smoke rose from thatched roofs. Children played in dusty lanes, and elders shared tales under banyan trees. Little did they know, their paths would intersect with Luna's in a life-altering way. The shock? When faced with this vulnerable creature, instead of seeing an enemy, they saw a mirror of their own struggles. This introduction sets the emotional foundation. We'll build suspense gradually, revealing layers of character and conflict. Elephants communicate through infrasound, vibrations felt in the bones, much like how this story will resonate with you. As we transition, envision the village awakening to unusual sounds. The pit, overgrown and forgotten, becomes the arena for heroism. Stay with me. The best is yet to come. In the next section, we'll immerse ourselves in the setting, painting a picture so vivid you'll feel the humidity on your skin. Remember, stories like this remind us, in the face of adversity, unexpected alliances can form. Luna's tale is one of survival, but also of transformation, for the elephant, the herd, and the humans who dared to care. Nestled in the verdant foothills of a sprawling mountain range, the village of Karampur emerges like a hidden gem amidst the wilderness. This remote outpost in rural India, home to about 500 souls, is a tapestry of mud brick houses topped with thatched roofs that sway gently in the monsoon breezes. Narrow dirt paths wind between them, dotted with colourful saris drying on lines and the occasional bicycle leaning against a wall. The air carries the scent of spices from simmering pots, turmeric, cumin, and chili mingling with the earthy aroma of freshly tilled soil. Farmers rise with the dawn, tending to rice paddies and mango orchards that border the dense jungle. Life here is simple, rhythmic, tied inexorably to the seasons and the land's bounty. But Karampur isn't isolated from the wild. It's enveloped by it. The surrounding forest is a biodiversity hotspot, alive with the chatter of monkeys swinging from branches, the roar of distant tigers, and the iridescent flash of peacocks strutting through clearings. Towering teak and sal trees form a canopy so thick that sunlight dances in speckled patterns on the forest floor. Rivers snake through the terrain, their banks lined with bamboo groves where birds nest in symphony. This ecosystem supports a myriad of creatures, but none as iconic as the Asian elephants that roam these lands. Herds of these grey behemoths, led by matriarchs with decades of wisdom, traverse ancient migration routes that crisscross human territories. Elephants in Karampur are both revered and resented. In local folklore, they embody Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, and festivals feature elephant motifs in vibrant Rangoli designs. Children grow up hearing stories of their intelligence, how they mourn their dead, use tools, and form unbreakable family bonds. Yet reality bites hard. As populations grow, forests shrink, pushing elephants into villages for food. Crop raids are common. A single herd can decimate a field's harvest overnight, leaving families hungry. Villagers have erected electric fences, dug trenches, and even used firecrackers to deter them. But conflicts escalate. Poachers lurk in shadows, drawn by ivory's black market allure, while habitat loss from logging and mining scars the landscape. The pit itself is a remnant of that destructive past. Decades ago, miners excavated deep shafts for coal, abandoning them when resources dwindled. Overgrown with vines and camouflaged by foliage, these pits dot the forest like silent traps. One such chasm, about 20 feet deep and 15 feet wide, lies just a mile from Karampur's outskirts, a forgotten hazard that blends seamlessly into the underbrush. Moss-covered walls slick with moisture make escape impossible for any creature that falls in. Nearby, a watering hole attracts wildlife, including elephant herds that come to drink and bathe, their trunks spraying water in joyful arcs. The villagers are a diverse lot. Elder Ram Singh, with his weathered face and walking stick, holds sway in council meetings under the village banyan tree. Yogmaya, a school teacher, dreams of conservation, teaching kids about ecology. Farmer Raju bears scars from a past elephant encounter, fueling his bitterness. Children like little Arjun scamper through fields, mimicking animal calls. Daily life buzzes. Women fetch water from wells, men repair tools, and evenings bring gatherings around fires where songs and stories flow. But underlying tension simmers, whispers of those beasts destroying livelihoods. As seasons shift, monsoons transform the forest into a lush paradise, but also heighten dangers. Mudslides expose pits, and swollen rivers force animals onto higher ground near villages. Elephants, with their keen senses, navigate these changes, but calves like Luna are vulnerable. Her herd, a family of 15, includes protective aunts and playful siblings. They communicate through rumbles that travel miles, forging bonds stronger than steel. Luna's mother, a massive female named Tara, leads with grace, her trunk always guiding her young. This setting isn't just backdrop. It's the crucible where human and animal worlds collide. Karampur's people, resilient yet weary, face choices daily, coexist or confront. The forest pulses with life, deer grazing, snakes slithering, butterflies flitting, but also with peril. As we delve deeper, remember, environments shape stories. Here the pit symbolizes neglected wounds in nature, waiting to ensnare the unwary. Villagers' lives intertwine with wildlife in ways both beautiful and brutal. Transitioning to the incident, envision a typical day, turning tragic. The sun beats down, birds sing, and Luna explores innocently. Karampur awakens to routine, unaware that fate is about to intervene. This harmony, fragile as a spider's web, shatters with one misstep. The stage is set for drama that will challenge prejudices and reveal hidden depths of empathy. Dawn broke over the forest with a golden hue, casting long shadows as the elephant herd stirred from their nocturnal rest. Tara, the matriarch, let out a low rumble, signaling it was time to move. Her family responded in kind, trunks intertwining in morning greetings. Among them waddled Luna, the baby elephant, her skin still soft and wrinkled like an oversized prune. At just over a year old, she was a bundle of energy, her tiny tusks mere nubs, and her eyes wide with perpetual curiosity. Luna loved to play, chasing after birds or splashing in puddles, often straying a bit from the group but always under watchful eyes. That morning, the herd ambled toward a favorite grazing spot, a meadow rich with tender grasses and fruits. Tara led the way, her massive feet padding softly on the leaf-strewn path. The air was alive with sounds, cicadas buzzing, leaves rustling, and the occasional trumpet from a sibling. Luna lagged behind, distracted by a cluster of vibrant flowers. She extended her trunk, sniffing delicately, then playfully uprooted one, tossing it in the air. Her mother glanced back, issuing a gentle call to hurry up. But Luna, in her youthful exuberance, spotted a shimmering butterfly fluttering ahead. With a delighted squeak, she trotted after it, her ears flapping like oversized fans. The butterfly led her deeper into the underbrush, away from the herd's path. The forest thickened, vines dangling like curtains, and the ground grew uneven. Luna didn't notice. Her focus was on the elusive insect dancing just out of reach. She lunged forward, trunk outstretched, but the butterfly veered sharply. In her haste, Luna's foot caught on a root, propelling her forward uncontrollably. The earth seemed to vanish beneath her. With a startled cry, she plummeted into the void, the deep pit yawning open like a monstrous mouth. The fall was terrifying. Air rushed past her as she tumbled, bouncing off slick walls that offered no grip. Mud and debris showered down with her, and she landed with a thud at the bottom, the impact jarring her small body. Pain shot through her legs, but miraculously no bones broke. The pit was dark, damp and confining, its walls towering impossibly high. Luna scrambled to her feet, trunk flailing in panic. She let out a piercing trumpet, a desperate call for help that echoed up the shaft, but was muffled by the overhanging foliage. Above, the herd froze at the sound. Tara's ears perked, her body tensing. She trumpeted back, a deep, resonant call that vibrated through the trees. The family rushed toward the source, trunks raised to sniff the air. They arrived at the pit's edge, peering down into the gloom. Luna's cries grew frantic as she saw shadows above. Tara extended her trunk, trying to reach, but the depth was too great, 20 feet of sheer drop. The aunts circled, rumbling in distress, their feet stamping the ground in agitation. Luna paced the narrow floor, mud squelching under her feet. Water seeped from the walls, forming puddles that reflected her frightened face. She tried to climb, her trunk grasping at roots, but they snapped under her weight, sending her sliding back. Exhaustion set in, her breaths coming in heaving gasps. The herd refused to leave, forming a protective ring around the pit. Tara's calls grew more urgent, summoning distant relatives, but rescue seemed impossible without tools. As hours passed, Luna's energy waned. She huddled in a corner, trunk curled protectively around herself, whimpers escaping. Her mind flashed to warm milk from her mother, playful tussles with siblings. Now, isolation gripped her. The incident highlighted nature's cruelty, a moment's whimsy leading to peril. Tara's herd, bound by loyalty, stood vigil, their presence a comfort, but not a solution. Unbeknownst to them, human ears would soon hear Luna's pleas, setting the stage for intervention. As the sun climbed higher, casting dappled light through the canopy, the villagers of Karampur went about their midday routines. Farmer Raju, sweat beading on his brow, hoed his paddy field, grumbling about recent elephant tracks. Nearby, children including young Arjun played tag, their laughter echoing. Elder Ram Singh sat under the banyan, sipping chai, discussing crop yields with neighbors. The distant trumpets from the forest barely registered at first. Wildlife sounds were commonplace, but then a piercing cry cut through the air unlike any before. It was high-pitched, desperate, repeating in waves. Maya, the schoolteacher, paused her lesson, cocking her head. "What was that?" she murmured. Arjun, ever adventurous, bolted toward the sound, ignoring calls to stop. He darted into the forest fringe, following the echoes. Panting, he reached the pit, peering over the edge. There in the shadows was Luna. Trunk raised, eyes pleading, Arjun's heart raced. "An elephant, a baby one," he shouted, racing back to the village. Word spread like wildfire. Villagers dropped tools, gathering in a buzz. "A calf in the old mine pit," Ram Singh questioned, rising slowly. A group formed, Raju, Maya, and others, grabbing lanterns and ropes, trekking to the site. The herd had retreated slightly at human approach, but lingered nearby, trunks swaying warily. Arriving, they shone lights down. Luna looked up, her cries softening to whimpers. "Poor thing," Maya whispered. Raju scowled. "It's one of them crop destroyers. Leave it." Debates erupted. Some, like Raju, saw opportunity for revenge. Elephants had ruined his harvest twice. "Let nature take its course," he argued. Others, moved by the calf's vulnerability, protested. "It's just a baby." "Like our children," Maya countered. Ram Singh called a council. Back in the village square under fading light, voices clashed. Elders recalled past losses, trampled fields, injured kin. "Elephants bring misfortune," one said. But Maya shared facts from books. Elephants' role in ecosystems, seed dispersal, forest health. Arjun piped up, "It's scared like I was when I fell in the well." Sympathy stirred in some. As night fell, lanterns flickered. Scouts reported the herd nearby, adding urgency. Angry elephants could charge. Proposals flew. Call forest officials, but lines were down. Ignore it, heartless, or attempt rescue, risky. Tensions rose. Raju stormed off, muttering threats. Maya advocated patience, suggesting observation. The initial response fractured the community, revealing deep-seated grudges and emerging compassion. Luna's fate hung in balance, her cries a haunting backdrop. The village square pulsed with heated arguments as moonlight filtered through the banyan leaves. Ram Singh raised his hand for silence, his voice steady amid the chaos. "We cannot ignore this. But what we do next defines us." Whispers rippled. Some expected a vote to abandon Luna, others hoped for official help. But then Raju, the most vocal opponent, stepped forward, his face twisted in conflict. "I've lost everything to those beasts," he began, voice cracking. "My fields, my peace. But that calf, it's no different from my son when he was small, gasps echoed. Raju, known for his elephant traps, proposed the unthinkable. Not just rescue, but involving the entire village in a daring, unorthodox plan that risked their lives. The twist unfolded rapidly. Instead of calling distant authorities or leaving Luna to fate, the villagers decided to summon the herd back to assist in the rescue. A shocking reversal of their adversarial history. Maya, inspired by wildlife documentaries, suggested it, elephants are smart. If we guide the matriarch, she can pull the calf out with her trunk, but we need to build a partial ramp first. Skeptics balked. Approaching a protective herd was suicide. Elephants had charged villagers before, leaving destruction. Yet Ramsing nodded. We fought them long enough. Time to ally. Preparations began at dawn, the community uniting in frenzy. Children gathered branches, women prepared food for workers, men hauled tools. But the shock deepened. Raju revealed a secret. He'd once poached ivory, a dark past he'd hidden. This is my redemption, he confessed, tears streaming. Villagers, stunned, forgave him, channeling energy into the plan. They would use fire to create a controlled smoke signal, not to scare, but to communicate, mimicking elephant rumbles with drums to lure Tara closer without alarm. As teams divided, tension built. One group dug at the pit's edge, carving a sloped ramp with shovels and pickaxes, mud flying. Sweat-soaked shirts clung as they worked tirelessly, reinforcing with logs to prevent collapse. Another scouted the herd, reporting positions. Arjun, binoculars in hand, whispered updates. Maya coordinated, sketching diagrams on dirt. The ramp gets us halfway. The mother does the rest. Doubts lingered. What if the herd attacked? Injuries or deaths could occur. The shocking element peaked when they incorporated ancient rituals. Elders chanted prayers to Ganesha, smearing vermilion on tools, blending spirituality with action. This wasn't just rescue. It was cultural shift, defying generations of enmity. Raju led the drum team, beating rhythms that echoed infrasound patterns, learned from Maya's research. The forest responded. The ground vibrated as the herd approached cautiously. Luna's cries grew hopeful, sensing familiarity. But risks mounted. A bull elephant trumpeted warning, charging briefly before halting. Villagers froze, hearts pounding. Rem Singh stood firm, arms raised in peace. Miraculously, Tara advanced, trunk sniffing. The plan's audacity shocked even participants. Humans facilitating wild rescue, bridging species. Deeper conflicts surfaced. A faction fearing backlash suggested aborting, but majority prevailed. Raju's transformation inspired. He shared stories of his poaching regrets, vowing protection henceforth. Children, wide-eyed, learned empathy firsthand. As ramp progressed, halfway down, they paused. Smoke signals rose, guiding Tara to the edge. The twist's core, villagers sacrificed safety and resources, donating food to distract the herd, risking fields if elephants lingered. This altruism from crop loss victims stunned outsiders, later hearing the tale. Media would call it miraculous. But here, it was raw humanity. Execution neared climax. With ramp ready, drummers intensified. Tara peered down, trunk extending. Luna responded, trunk up. Villagers retreated, watching breathlessly. The shocking decision paid off. Tara grasped Luna, pulling as the calf climbed the slope. Cheers erupted, but not without hitches. The ramp buckled slightly, requiring quick repairs. This pivot from hostility to harmony redefined the village. Prejudices crumbled. Bonds formed. The plan's ingenuity, combining human engineering with animal instinct, proved revolutionary. Conservationists would study it, but for Karampur, it was rebirth. As dust settled, reflections began. The twist wasn't just action. It was mindset shift. Villagers once divided emerged united, forever changed by one baby's plight. With the ramp partially built and the herd positioned, the rescue ignited into high gear. Tara, at the pit's lip, extended her trunk like a lifeline, coiling around Luna's small frame. The calf, energized by her mother's scent, scrambled upward, hooves digging into the fresh dirt slope. Villagers watched from a safe distance, tools ready for emergencies. Raju directed reinforcements, shoving logs to stabilize crumbling sections. Sweat poured as muscles strained, the air thick with anticipation and dust. Suddenly, the ramp shifted under Luna's weight. A loose boulder tumbled, causing her to slip back. Panic surged. Tara trumpeted alarm, the herd rumbling in chorus. Maya shouted, "Hold steady!" Quick-thinking Arjun tossed ropes, which men looped around logs for pull. They heaved in unison, chanting encouragement. Luna, resilient, tried again, her trunk grasping Tara's for leverage. Inch by inch she ascended, the slope holding this time. Challenges mounted, rain began drizzling, turning mud slick. Villagers slipped but persevered, forming human chains to pass materials. A ant elephant joined Tara, trunks intertwining for extra pull. The sight was awe-inspiring, humans and animals collaborating seamlessly. Raju's drums maintained rhythm, calming the herd amid tension. At the midpoint, Luna faltered, exhausted. Villagers innovated. They lowered a makeshift sling of vines and cloth, cradling her belly for support. Tara pulled while humans guided. Cheers rose as Luna crested the edge, tumbling into her mother's embrace. The herd surrounded her, trunks caressing in relief. Villagers erupted in joy, hugging, tears mixing with rain. The climax peaked with unity. Raju approached cautiously, offering fruits as peace gesture. Tara accepted a symbolic truce. The rescue, fraught with peril, succeeded through ingenuity and trust. In the aftermath, Karampur transformed. Luna rejoined her herd, vanishing into the forest, but the bond lingered. Villagers erected barriers around pits, planted elephant-friendly crops, and formed a wildlife patrol. Raju's redemption inspired a conservation club led by Maya and Arjun. Conflicts dwindled. Harmony bloomed. This story teaches empathy bridges divides. Act kindly. Protect nature. Subscribe for more, share your thoughts, and remember, one shocking choice can change everything.